Ryan Arzy here with Foiling Magazine. We're in Hood River at AWSI, and I'm here with Ken Winner, one of the most famous and revolutionary wing designers and kite designers, here to talk about the Duotone Unit. Can you tell us a little bit about the design on this? And I see that you have the hard handles, and this is the standard construction. So could you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so this unit is a development of the units we've been building for the last few years. It's an evolution, it's not a revolution, and we've made improvements in a lot of small areas and a couple of big ones. So one small area, we've got a stiffer handle here. We don't want to go totally rigid with the handle because we feel like that's a little dangerous, but a pretty stiff handle that's got a little bit of flex to it is still nice. We like that. We've continued with our Mod 3 canopy material in the back. That's the light blue material. It's extremely durable. It's stiffer than the standard ripstop that we were using in the past that pretty much everybody uses. But this material gives you really responsive pumping, and it makes the wing really stable so that when you hit a gust, or a gust hits you, the wing is really stable in your hands. The draft doesn't move back. The wing just squirts forward. It doesn't drag. So this material we feel is really important for the performance of the wing. The front is a DK50 material that's more like a standard kite ripstop that we feel we can use here because this isn't a part of the wing that gets as much abuse and as much stretch as the belly of the wing.
And everything seems super solid, and the canopy seems preloaded.
So we like to load the canopy because that gives the wing really good lift when you're just luffing it.
Right.
And if you're going through attack, the wing has nice lift. Not too much lift. It doesn't lift away, but it's always pretty neutral or a little light. It's never heavy in the hand.
And so it basically flies itself.
Well, you know, it needs little guidance.
Yeah. And I see that the profile here is very interesting, and how much it bends as well.
We've been using these rigid struts, handles for a while. And for the 2024 unit, we made a long front handle. We're keeping the same handle in the back, but the long handle in the front allows the rider to fly the wing with one hand. So if you're sitting on your board and you want to get onto your knees, you can fly the wing with one hand by holding it here and use your other hand to help you stand up. So that's the way I do it.
Yeah.
Different people get up in different ways. Some people need this, some people don't. Some people like to fly one-handed, some people don't. So
it's good to have the option.
I think that's a good option. We also dropped the front handle by giving the strut this sort of S shape so that when you're riding with both arms like this, your back arm isn't as bent as it usually is.
Right.
It's much more ergonomically sound. Of course, these handles are oval, which makes them really comfortable on the hands. And we also, this isn't our longest front handle. The bigger wings have longer front handles than this one. We have two different size front handles.
And so the bigger wings would have the bigger
wings have the bigger front.
And so this is a 3.0. What is the size range for this?
We go from
unit?
2 to 6.5 in half-meter increments.
Okay. Awesome.
And let's just turn it this way so people can see how the canopy's really quite tensioned up here and pretty tensioned all the way through, actually.
Yeah, and it's got a beautiful curve to it, and also a bit of a dihedral, it looks like.
Yeah, we find the dihedral actually helps with stability. People are a little confused on that subject, but it does help wing stability.
That's great. Yeah. Well, this is the standard construction, right? And they're available in D-Lab, correct?
Right. We have our D-Lab construction, which is basically a little lighter and a little stiffer, but we don't do the D-Lab in a 3-meter size. The D-Lab is most valuable in the bigger sizes. So
you need that lighter weight, and
yeah, you notice the weight more in a 6.5 than you do for sure.
Right.
In a 3. So the D-Lab 6.5 is a noticeable amount lighter, and it's also stiffer because the aluminum material is very stiff. But my wife really likes the 3.5 because she likes the low weight and she notices it. So, you know, the D-Lab wings are for anybody who wants them. They're not just for the pros.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ken. I really appreciate it. We're going to bring Sky and Jeffrey over to talk more about some other gear. All right, so we're here with Sky, and Duotone is making some beautiful boards this year. And this is their surf version, wing, and then downwind. So could you give us a little information on each one?
Yeah, sure. So that board you're holding there is the Sky Surf. It comes in 2 sizes, a 4.2 and a 4.4. They're 25 and 35 liters. And yeah, that's basically a dedicated prone surfboard, surf foil board that can, of course, also be used as a wingboard. It's got foot strap inserts and a really strong full biax carbon PVC sandwich tie-up. So it's a board that can definitely be jumped. And this year it changed a little bit flatter tail rocker. We had some really good input from Jeffrey and Finn Spencer on this board. This is a board that they use almost every day. So yeah, we're really excited about the
the simplicity and the chines also look like it's very functional. Everything has been thought out. And
yeah, it's got a really cool rail shape where you can actually grab the rail to duck dive. It kind of feels like a surfboard. And then it also has a really good release off the water. And yeah, we're really stoked about that board.
Awesome. And this is the wing board.
Yeah, so this one is called the Style. And this is kind of like, I guess, the main board of our range, like high performance wing board. We actually did a smaller version of this compared to last year. We now have a 45 liter version of this. So it goes, we have 5 sizes of this from 45 and 10 liter increments all the way up.
Cool.
Yeah, and this board really is like a kind of do everything board. Like it's a great board for freestyle and for jumping, but it's also really maneuverable. And that's especially because of the deck angle and the rocker that we chose for this board. It rides in sort of a more nose up position than a lot of other boards, which just gives you a lot more freedom of movement. Loading up for a jump, you have more space to load up. You have more room to turn. And we've gone back to a beveled rail this year as well, just to also give it more maneuverability. So yeah, we're really stoked.
Very clean
board.
And then we've got the downwind board here.
Yeah, and then we've got the downwind board. This is a board that was developed by Jeffrey and Finn Spencer. And I was lucky to do some testing with them, especially on the bigger sizes. And yeah, this comes in 4 different sizes, from 95 liters all the way up to 135 liters.
And that's the 135, right?
And this is the biggest one. Yeah, this is the 7.8. So this would be my board.
Yeah.
The easiest one. And yeah, it's just a really clean shape. Everyone who's tried it, I think, has commented how easy it comes up, how great a glide it has. I was really surprised how stable a board like this is, even though it's being so narrow. The length gives you a lot of...
I mean, you guys really fit volume into a 7.8. That's impressive.
Yeah.
How the volume is distributed and everything doesn't seem like there's any extra things you don't need.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple and...
Yeah, the guys tried to just keep the shape really clean and functional. And it's a little bit different than some of the other boards I've seen. It's got a light single concave here in the front, which just flattens the rocker out through the entry, which gives you that extra glide for getting going. And it's also a great light wind wing board. So, you can use it for winging, use it for downwinding. And yeah, we're really stoked to have this one in the lineup.
Awesome. Well, it's great to see Duotone making such incredible boards, and I'm sure they're going to be a success. Cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot
for going over it.
Yeah, thanks you guys.
So we've also got Jeffrey Spencer here, and Duotone is also making foils now, so it's exciting to see what's coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the most exciting new foils in the range. It is the new Aero Carve 2.0 in the D-Lab system, which is a brand new front wing and front of the fuselage one-piece connection. So you get really good efficiency and really good structure from this type of build. The mast connection will work with all of the old Fnatic masts as well as the brand new Duotone masts. And the tail piece is a 1 screw in that gets hidden when the mast is connected. Both the 2 tail sizes are 37, which is equivalent to a 60 centimeter fuse, and a 43, which is equivalent to a 66 centimeter fuse. And the tail wings can be mounted on with any option from the range.
That's epic. And so is this your go-to setup for most surfing? And
yeah, absolutely. This size right here is the 650. This is what I love to use if it's, good wave surf foiling, or if it's windy winging. This foil handles speed very well and is super good for maneuverability and control.
Yeah, it looks like a very solid build, and it's cool that you guys have a 1 screw connection to the fuse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super fast to set up, and reduces the drag hiding that screw when you get it on. So
awesome.
Yeah, feels great to ride.
We'll definitely check out more of this online. Cool to see this coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeffrey.